Okay, so I think most of the students have joined. 28 students are there. So let us not waste much time. So I'm sharing my screen now. So requesting the others, please stop sharing your screen. Please stop sharing your screen. I cannot share my screen. And please mute yourself. Amlan, please mute yourself. All the students are requested to mute themselves. Now can you see my screen? Students? Students, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Fine, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for a few classes, I am going to discuss about what is AWS and what are the different services of AWS and how to take the leverage on AWS. As already I have told that I am going to take your classes on AWS, lab classes on AWS initially, and after that we will move to then IBM Cloud and then Oracle Cloud if you get time. So you will get the credit voucher and all the facilities of IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and AWS. You can have your experiments in Oracle, IBM Cloud, and AWS itself. Now, this time, after this class, I am asking who is the class coordinator of your class. For you have three batches are there, I guess. MCA is there, MSCIT, and then integrated MSCIT. Now, I think there should be three coordinators. All those three coordinators are requested to give the students official email ID in an Excel sheet. Means that in the Excel sheet there should be only one column. In that column, you put the official email ID, and I will give you the $100 credit voucher. Except those who have already received, I am not going to give them because they have the $100 credit voucher still remains with you, I guess. Few of the students, as I can remember that from the ninth semester students, I have already given the $100 credit voucher. It is with you, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your job is to give me the Excel sheet where all the students' email ID is there who has not got the credit voucher, and please submit it to me so that I can enable them and you can start your experiment from next day. Okay, but today without having that credit voucher also, you can do one experiment that I will show you later. First thing is that already you might be knowing that what is the difference between the cloud and on-premises architecture. On-premises architecture means study your traditional architecture where you have to create your IT infrastructure where the equipments or hardware are required. You need the resource person or administrator who will administer the entire hardware systems or your IT infrastructures, and you have to have the annual maintenance contract with the vendor so that if there is any hardware issues happens, but there should not be any downtime. Do you know in the industry what is the maximum downtime practice? Any guess? Downtime means your system will remain down. Like your SBI bank, core banking systems. How many times you have seen that your SBI apps is not working, SBI Yono apps is not working, or SBI website is not working, or how many times you have seen that your Amazon e-commerce site is not working, or Flipkart site is not working because you are accustomed with all those server-based applications only, or how many times you have seen that your Facebook is not working or WhatsApp is not working. Can you give me an idea?
Only the only the sales day, like the phone is on sale and then the website crashes. That time we can see that.
But have you
Only.
seen ever that your Facebook is stopped working, it is not responding, or the server under maintenance, or your
Sir,
WhatsApp?
rarely.
Rarely नहीं, कभी नहीं हुआ. You cannot say it rarely. In case of SBI, still you can say that SBI sometimes send a message that the system will remain down from 11:30 to 12. Huh? So please, we are sorry for the inconvenience caused because they know that if they keep their server down for 30 minutes, there will be a huge business loss for them. So who is going to incur those losses? So it's a huge amount of business loss. So one thing they need to keep it in mind that in the industry itself, that your downtime cannot be more than 0.00099%. Sorry, 0.0001%. Means 37 seconds, which comes around 37 seconds per year. That means you can tolerate 37 seconds of downtime per year. If it is more than that, that case your online system is not reliable. Now, after creating an infrastructure in Jorhat city, can you assure this much of downtime assurance? Can you get an assurance of this much of downtime? That means your system will remain down only 37 seconds per year, and rest of the year your system always remain up. Can you assure that one? I am asking you. Hello? No, you cannot assure, right? Because it is not possible. Because यहाँ पे तो current ही बहुत बार चला जाता है. So how can you assure that your system will remain up for this much amount of time? You cannot assure that. So for that, what you have to do that you have some maintenance contract with some with the vendor that you have to whenever the system, it's a system, so it can get down at any time. So you have to make a contract with the several vendors that if it gets down, then immediately you have to up my system. So at the time of contract, they have to make a contract like those AMC contractor also. If it is a very good AMC contractor, they will assure you of 0.0001% of downtime. Rest of the contract they are not going to give because
Sir,
yes. Tell me.
excuse me, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, your voice is not clear, so it's like.
So right now voice is
Voice
cracking
lag कर
again.
रहा है.
Okay, okay. Let me check again. So it is lagging or it is echoing? Can you tell me? speed gets lesser. So I am giving some alternative connection. Just a minute. ये तो और भी slow है. Okay. Now is my voice okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now is voice is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so even the any vendor
Yes,
also
sir.
cannot give you the assurance of this much of downtime. So and even you have to pay more. Suppose if they give you 5 days downtime per year, that case suppose your annual maintenance contract amount will be 7 lakhs. Suppose that means you have to pay 7 lakhs, and they will give you the assurance that within 5 days, whatever be the problem, your system will problem will get resolved. And sometimes if you bring down that from 7 days, if you bring down that downtime is from 7 days to 3 days, that case your annual maintenance contracts will be, instead of 7 lakhs, it will become 20 lakhs. Instead of this, if you make the downtime as half an hour, that case your annual maintenance contracts will be maybe 50 lakhs. If you further bring it down to 0.0001%, that case your annual maintenance contract may be of 1 crore. So it is not possible for you to give this much of amount of annual maintenance contract to keep your that much of downtime. So what is the solution? Solution is that take the cloud services. Because in the cloud services you will always be given the assurance of downtime of 0.0001%, and they will take care of how to maintain that downtime. You don't have to bother about the annual maintenance contract or whatever it may be. So everything will goes fine from their end. Even your cost will also bring down much lesser. First of all, there is no upfront expenses, as already yesterday I told. Yes, I don't know how much you could hear yesterday due to the lack of network connectivity, that there is no upfront cost you have to pay, because for the equipment, suppose for the IT infrastructure, even for the Kaziranga University, I have to purchase at least 3 to 4 servers, which will cost around 10 to 15 lakhs. But I don't have to expend this much of amount of money initially. What I have to do, that I can create 5 servers within 5 minutes. And even if you purchase 5 servers to maintain and install and configure those 5 servers, it will take another 1.5 months, because there are some specialized people are required who will create and design the entire IT infrastructure within your university. So that also require a much amount of time. You require the resource and administration and everything. But in this case, you don't require. Not only that, whenever you create one infrastructure, you have to think about that. I am not going to upgrade my infrastructure in the next 5 years, whatever be the situation comes. That case, if you require only 2 servers, you will give a quotation for 5 servers, because you don't want to upgrade. Because in case of upgradation, you have to make down your entire infrastructure for few days. Otherwise, the upgradation will not be possible. So what they do, that they give a quotation for 5 servers if you require 2 servers right now. Why they give that? Because there should not be any requirement in the next 5 years. But think about it. The rest of the 3 servers always remain underutilized. वो सर्वर तो कभी यूज नहीं होता है नेक्स्ट 3 years के लिए. Now can you put your hard earned money as an investment in those cases, because it is not being used still. I have to put my money. Not only that, it is remain underutilized most of the time. In case of your systems hardware infrastructure, you have to give one assurance that your system utilization should be 70% or more. Now, can you give a guarantee that your system will always remain under utilized overutilized of 70%? Sometimes it may be 10%, sometimes it may be 20%, sometimes it may be 70%. Like in case of Ola Uber business, as already I have told. So their system requirement does not come at a peak level all time. Their system requirement varies. When the customer number increases, their system requirement also increases. But for the peak users, they cannot create their infrastructure, because rest of the infrastructure will remain underutilized. So for that, you have the cloud solution where you can have a bare minimum system configuration. You can create your bare minimum system configuration as per your requirement. Now, if your requirement increases, your infrastructure will also scale up or scale down automatically. You don't have to do anything, and you will be the boss of your own infrastructure. You don't have to look after anybody. You don't require any system administrator, because you can become your own system administrator. So these are the basic differences and advantage of cloud services over on-premises services. Now, one important thing is that the total cost of ownership. What do you mean by the total cost of ownership? Total cost of ownership is a financial estimate to help you to identify the direct and indirect cost of the system. It means if you want to create an IT infrastructure, what can be the direct and indirect cost? Now, in case, suppose you have entered into a new company. Now, you are convinced with the cloud computing services. Now, if you tell your company that, okay, boss, you migrate your entire IT infrastructure to cloud infrastructure, and you can save lots of money. Now, what should be your boss answer? Can you tell me what maybe your boss answer? Any guess? Because boss is a businessman, right? What can be your boss answer? You can unmute yourself and tell me, and then again mute yourself. अगर बोलोगे कि मैं पूरा क्लाउड में आपका सिस्टम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को कन्वर्ट कर दूंगा एंड यू कैन सेव लॉट्स ऑफ मनी आउट ऑफ इट, so what should be your boss answer or reply or response? Tell me, anybody? आप लोग अगर इंटरेक्ट नहीं करोगे, दैट केस मैं सिर्फ पीपीटी बोल के छोड़ दूंगा. अगर तुम मेरा बॉस होते तो क्या बोलते? अगर इफ आई गिव यू दैट प्रपोजल टू यू.
पहले तो हाँ ही बोलते सर.
हाँ,
हाँ ही बोलते सर. बॉस रिव्यू
बॉस हाँ ही बोलता, नहीं बोलता. अगर अगर बॉस एक बिजनेसमैन है ना, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ही विल आस्क यू मेरा कितना सेव होगा, तुम वो पूरा कैलकुलेट करके मुझे दिखाओ.
यस सर.
बिकॉज इट्स ए मनी मैटर. वो पूरा क्लाउड में पूरा पैसा दे दिया तुम्हारा बात सुन के, एंड आफ्टर दैट ही इज फाइंडिंग आउट दैट इट इज नॉट ए कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव वन. बाद में तुम पैसा मांगते ही रहते हो, तो वो पूरा फंस जाएगा. ही विल बी इन अ ट्रैप. बोलेगा देखो मेरा अच्छा खासा बिजनेस चल रहा था आईटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में, अभी ये आके बोल रहा है कि ये क्लाउड में जाओ, मैंने डाल दिया 5 लाख क्लाउड के पीछे, नाउ ये मेरा काम नहीं हो पा रहा है. So first of all, boss would like to know that give me the total comparison, how much it will cost. Now, how can you give the comparison? For that, what the AWS cloud computing services has done, that they have created one calculator that is called, two calculators are there. One is called AWS simple calculator, another is AWS TCO calculator. Now through AWS TCO calculator means AWS total cost of ownership calculator. Now through AWS TCO calculator you can give an comparative study of approximation that how much cost it will incur if you go to the cloud services instead of the on-premises services, and it will give you a comparison. Like here I am showing you one component wise comparison. Suppose if I want to in my on premises I have a virtual machine, instead of virtual machine you can take the original machine also. So if I have an original machine for my IT infrastructure with cost of 4, which have 4 CPUs, 16 GB of RAM in each CPU, and Linux operating system is there, and average utilization is 70%, and you are for the on-premises the cost is for 3 years cost is $1,67,000. It is coming. How it is coming, that also I will show you. And if you go instead of the virtual machine, if you go for the cloud services, that case you can take one services one template. That template is called 1m4.x large instance with 4 CPUs, 16 GB of RAM, and Linux operating systems, and 3-year upfront reserve instance. 3-year upfront reserve instance का मतलब है you are paying in advance that I am going to take these services, I am reserving these services for the next 3 years, and you have to pay the money in advance. Now, if both are actually equivalent, right? Now, for the both of the services, actually मेरा एक phone call आ रहा है. Can you excuse me for 2 minutes? ये phone call जरूरी भी हो सकता है.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
अरे
हाँ मैं हूँ रईस मैं हूँ
मैं भी हूँ
अरे व्हाट्सएप चैट में बोल देना, चैट में बोल देना यार.
ठीक है मैं क्लास में हूँ, मैं बाद में.
हाँ हम लोग यहीं पे बोले.
ठीक है. प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ. Okay, so if you go for that on-premises service and make a comparison, component-wise comparison, you will find out. So in case of your AWS services, it is the cost for 3 years is coming around $7,500. Whereas for the on-premise services, it is coming around $1,67,000. Can you believe that? How much cost difference it is coming? So it's a 96% of saving per year. So if you give the entire details to your boss, that case I think your boss might get convinced, right? Yes or no? हाँ? अगर तुम तब तो कन्विंस हो जाते ना. ओके, चलो अभी हम दिखाएंगे हाउ टू यूज द TCO कैलकुलेटर. So you search in Google itself, AWS TCO calculator. Better I write it in Google, AWS TCO calculator. Okay, so in case of launch AWS TCO calculator, for that you don't require any account. Now, first it will ask you that you want the comparison in terms of United States dollar or Indian rupees. So I have selected Indian rupees. Then which area, which region? Already I told that in AWS there are 54 regions of data center. They have 54 data center in various spaces. So which spaces? Actually, your cost will also varies based on you where you are going to create your data center. Yesterday I told this or not? That in various data center under the various countries, they have their own storage policies are there. Actually, I have two classes are going on for the CSC also the same class, CCADM, and for the MSc students also. So which classes what I have told, what I have covered, that I forgot. So you have to remind me if I have covered this one that regarding the data storage policy in your last class, AWS data storage policy.
No, sir.
AWS data storage policy I have not told. Okay.
No, sir.
So AWS data, so not only it is not AWS data storage policy, it is basically the storage policy of different countries, because the different countries have their own storage compliances. Like in your China data center, if you store any data, that case you have to abide the data storage compliances is that your data is your data, your data is also Chinese government data. Means that Chinese government can anytime access your data. But whereas in US data center, the data storage compliance policy is that nobody ever can touch your data except your permission. So where you that case where you would like to store your data, China or in US? Obviously in US. So that is why as the US data center demands is higher, so the cost of data center or the pricing of a data center of US is higher than the other places. So and if you want to store in India, that case also you can select Mumbai data center. So there are several data centers are available. So if I choose Asia Pacific Mumbai, that case one type of cost will come. Now, what type of applications you want? Suppose I wanted web server. I want to create one web server applications for my university. Okay. Now, how many virtual machine you require? So I require one virtual machine, suppose. And how many CPUs should be there within your virtual machine? Suppose I have taken 4 CPUs. Okay. And how much RAM you require? You tell me how much RAM you require for your virtual machine. You tell me any figure.
4 GB.
4 GB,
16
4 GB, 4 GB में वेब सर्वर कभी चलेगा नहीं. Be
16
ambitious.
GB.
32 से भी नहीं चलेगा. 64 GB is required. Okay, I am giving.
So 128 GB.
Okay, sir.
नहीं 128 GB ज्यादा हो जाएगा. तुम ऐसा ऐसा बोल रहे हो ऑटो में तुम ऑडी का इंजन लगाने चाह रहे हो. हाँ, तो that case you have to increase the CPU. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what type of server you want? Non DB or DB type? मतलब database type होगा तो इसका security बहुत ज़्यादा होगा. So you have to pay more. So okay, fine. For my web server, I don't require DB type database. I am using non DB. Now for what type of operating system you require? Windows or Linux? Linux is much more secure. So yes, tell me Windows. हाँ,
Linux.
बोलो.
Sir,
Linux.
Linux.
Okay, Linux.
Linux.
Now, hypervisor, because there are various hypervisors are there. Are you accustomed with what is hypervisor? A virtual machine
Type
monitor?
of hypervisor.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you know that is a virtual machine monitor, right? So VMware you can take, or Hyper-V. Hyper-V is for the Windows. So Windows Microsoft proprietary. So as you are not taking Windows operating system, so better not to take Hyper-V. You can take either KVM or VMware. So VMware is much more robust. So I am taking VMware. Okay. So this is the first server. If you want to take another server, you can take it. Suppose this is your examination server. That means this server will take my examination only. So I want to create one virtual machine. It can work with two virtual CPU itself also. For that, if 60 GB RAM is sufficient, non-DB Linux operating system VMware. Okay. Now for storage, if you require any storage, why the storage is required? Whatever data will be created, that you can store it in a another replicated devices or in a mirror device. Okay, so for that you can use the storage. So what type of storage you can take? SAN, NAS or object. Do you know what is the difference between SAN and NAS?
Sir, don't know.
No,
You don't
no,
know.
sir.
Okay, so in an other day I will tell you. Otherwise, your lab classes will get deviated. SAN full
So
form is,
storage area network.
yeah, storage area network and
Yeah.
network attached storage.
Yeah,
NAS
network
is the
area
network
storage.
attached. No, network area storage. नहीं, network attached storage. So network data storage is basically if your hard disk has a Wi-Fi capability and you are accessing the data from your hard disk wirelessly from multiple devices. And whereas storage area network is much more robust, where you can connect multiple types of storage, heterogeneous storage in your storage devices with your device. Like you can connect with hard disk, you can connect with SSD, you can connect with tape drive, you can connect with normal magnetic drive, anything. And it is actually work as a switch also. Okay, I will give you the description and you remind me in some other days. So how what is the main difference between SAN and NAS? So as SAN is much more robust, so I am taking SAN and I am taking 10 TB. 10 TB is sufficient for us. And if you take SSD, then your cost will be more. If you take hard disk, your cost will be less because SSD is much more faster. Now calculate my TCO. Now after calculating, if you want the entire report, that case you have to give your entire details. So I am giving my details. I am writing personal interest. I would like to receive marketing. I don't require. Okay. So your reports are now generating. Now you can see that on-premises versus AWS summary. You could save 76% a year moving your infrastructure to AWS. Your 3-year total savings would be 14 lakhs. No, 1 crore 40 lakhs 70,000 rupees. How it is coming? It is not a vague data. If you want to convince your boss, you can give the component wise comparison that for server, for on-premises, सर्वर अगर खरीदने जाओगे तो कितना आएगा 9 lakhs. But in case of AWS, you have to pay for 3 years rental. That is coming around 2 lakhs 21,000. For storage, it is coming around 5 lakhs. 52 lakhs. This one is 52 lakhs 27,000. This one is coming around 6 lakhs 55,000. And if you want the other details also, you get all the entire details. Now, if you want to download the report, you can download the report. So you can download the entire report. So today your assignment is to, using TCO calculator, create a component wise comparison between if I use the on-premises service or if I use the cloud service, what should be my component wise comparison. Okay, now where to submit the in your report? I already told that there is a course page for you. There is a course page for you. You go to Auth semester, and in Auth semester, the cloud computing architecture and deployment model lab is there. So go to cloud computing architecture and deployment model lab. I think I have created. I should created. I have not created. Okay, how to activate the AWS account? Fine. No issue. AWS S3 bucket. Okay, no issue. So that case, what I am doing that I am creating one. I will create by today itself one link here. You will find out in the experiment number 15. In the experiment number 15, you will find out the actual the total experiment, and there will be like this. One submit assignment button will be there. You have to click on that submit assignment button, and you have to give your name and you have to add the file. So like this, one file you will find out. So you have to give your component wise comparison statement within your lab file. So is it okay for you? Is there any question?
Yes, sir.
No question? Now can you do this assignment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
okay. So before and what is the evaluation procedure I am telling? One evaluation procedure already I told that you have to interactive. So those who are interactive, I can get all the details from the chat box itself, and based on the interactiveness, you are getting some marks. And second thing is that your regular attendance plus regular submission of assignment means if I give this assignment before the next class, you have to submit the assignment. Okay, and if you don't submit, your 50% marks will be deducted. Means each of the assignment cost for 10 marks. So if you submit after the next class means in next week. So in that case, your 50% marks will be get deducted. Okay. So thank you all for your patience. And yes, another thing is that as it is a lab class, you should do it in the lab. As we are not in the lab, so please do one thing that you right now start working on that. We can again meet at 2 p.m. If you have any question, that time I will check it whether you have faced any problem or not. That time I will check and finish the lab class. Okay, will it be okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 2 hours I am
Yes.
giving,
Okay, sir.
and again 2 o'clock. Please remind me, Navajyoti. Please remind me with the same
Okay, sir.
Google. I will create another Google Meet link to you, and you show me that whatever you have done and you have faced any problem or not. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
Rajiv has written that what is the assignment question. Assignment question is that if you want to create an IT infrastructure for your company, you please write it down. If you want to create an IT infrastructure for your company, what should be the component wise comparison for on-premise versus cloud infrastructure? Shall I repeat the question?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
If you want to create an IT infrastructure for your company, what should be the component wise comparison? What should be the component wise comparison for on-premises versus cloud infrastructure? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.